Let's grab our guest, Joe Collins, 13-year Navy veteran. He was the Republican nominee for California's 43rd Congressional District. Hey, Joe Collins, welcome to the Wayne Allyn Root Show.
Hey, how are you?
Good. So we're here to talk about Gavin Newsom and the movement to recall him as the governor of California. It was done with Gray Davis a few years back. I believe I lived in California when it happened to Gray Davis. Do you know what year the Gray Davis Arnold Schwarzenegger thing was?
You know what? I'm not 100% certain when it was.
Oh, I'd already moved. 2003. I already moved. I moved in 2002 to Las Vegas. So I was not there for Gray Davis. I just watched from afar, and I watched with such interest. I actually, in my mind, thought I was there, see? Because Arnold Schwarzenegger took his job away.
Yeah, in 2002, I was in high school. I graduated in 2003, so I don't think I was involved in politics, but I do remember Arnold Schwarzenegger becoming the governor of California, though.
But how does this work? I mean, what's the recall process? I don't remember. They recalled Gray Davis. Does that mean you automatically elected on that moment Schwarzenegger, or first they recalled Gray Davis, then there had to be an election, and then Schwarzenegger won? What's the way it works now, Joe?
Yeah, that's how it is. You recall a governor, and then you have a special election to, figure out who our next governor is going to be.
Got it. So tell us about, I call him Gruesome Newsom. Tell us about why people are so angry in California at Gavin Newsom.
Well, I think people are angry because he's a hypocrite, and he has his do as I say, not as I do mentality. He shuts down the entire state, and small businesses are being shut down. Businesses are leaving. He's increased the taxes. We have a homeless problem that's gotten out of control that he hasn't done anything about. And people are really getting tired of it. And his health advisors are, the worst that I've ever seen. They close outdoor dining without proof that it, contributes to the spread of COVID-19. They've been anything but transparent when it comes to COVID-19. They haven't put any more resources into hospitals. I mean, anything bad that you can think of, that's why people are upset about him. You know what I'm saying? At this point, I don't even like his hair. So it's he's the best.
All right. Well, the whole California is moving here, by the way. Nevada is just exploding with Californians. Everybody's leaving, and they're all coming here. Few are going to Florida. Few are going to Texas. A few might be going to like a Utah, New Mexico, Colorado, an Oregon, or a Washington. But I'll bet you a large amount of the people leaving California are coming to Las Vegas. I don't know yet whether that's good or bad. If they're Democrats coming, it's bad. If they're Republicans running away from the insanity of California, that's good. Now, I've met in the last, I guess, 6 months, probably like 20 people who just moved here from California, and all 20 were Republicans. So I actually hope that it's good for us. We'll see. But if Democrats move here, that's obviously upsetting and is not going to help Nevada at all. But the reason they're moving here is because we're wide open at the moment. We have a crazy Democrat governor, too. But at the moment, we're wide open. You go to dinner anytime you want, and you can go to any retail store you want, and you go to any gym you want. We're open. California's not open, and we're sharing the border with you. What's the difference? Why can't you go to the gym? Why can't you go out to eat? Why can't you do that stuff in California?
Gavin Newsom, he's the reason why he can't do anything. The crazy part about it is when people leave California, especially Democrats, and I hate this, they take their same Democrat policies to states that are wide open, and then they try to influence the same thing that they just left, just like communism. You know what I'm saying? They see all these countries with communism, and then they see communism like it's the greatest thing to slice bread. And so a lot of Democrats contribute to their own destruction. And you see that in California. A lot of people think that it is a highly blue state, but they vote Democrat all the time, and these policies have not worked for a very long time. And so it is time for us to start electing younger people in the office, start electing more conservatives in the office, and I think this is a memo that a lot of the Californians can get with.
Now, you have an interesting stat here I want to talk with you about, a very interesting stat. California inmates worked with crime rings to defraud over $1 billion in COVID unemployment benefits from taxpayers. California inmates. So my question to you is, are they allowed to keep the money? Am I missing something? If they stole $1 billion, don't they have to get it all back?
From my recollection, I think they do have to give it back. But the fact of the matter is, how did these inmates get the ability to be able to apply for unemployment?
Right.
How did they get the ability to get these loans? And that's the part that I'm dumbfounded about. But it's no mistaking, because Gavin Newsom also released 18,000 prisoners from jail because of COVID-19. He should have just given them a mask. But these are the things that we face in California on a regular basis, especially in the inner cities, And somebody got to do it. I wish that we had someone who was strong, conservative, and who has experience to run for governor.
Yeah, who are the candidates, by the way? Who do Republicans have? Anybody interesting?
I have no idea. I don't know. I know a few people who are trying to dabble, but for my thing, if you're going to run for governor, you got to have some type of experience, right? And so right now, what we have is a lot of guys who have lost multiple races. They lost races, lower races, and now they're jumping up to higher races, which doesn't make sense. We have people who ran for Congress, lost, and now they want to run for governor. You have people who ran for mayor, lost, and now they're running for governor. And it's just we need somebody like Mayor Faulkner down in San Diego to run for governor. Somebody with some experience in winning, somebody with some experience in and having a good economy in their city to run for governor and bring those same values and concepts that are allowing their city to thrive to the entire state, to govern the entire state.
Joe, I'd go a step further than you. I know the guy in San Diego. He's been a guest on my show, and I know he's a pretty good guy and everything. But what we really need is celebrity. In other words, that's why Schwarzenegger won. That's why President Trump won. Celebrity brand name. You can't run nobodies and expect to overcome this huge Democrat lead. Only a conservative, Clint Eastwood's now 90 years old, so he's a bad example. I think he's 92. But, I mean, if you had Clint Eastwood running, if you had Arnold Schwarzenegger running, if you had Sly Stallone running, if you had Chuck Norris running, if you had Bruce Willis running, if you had Kevin Costner, those are all conservatives. Any one of them could maybe overcome, Democrats, even with the advantage Democrats have in voters. But you're not going to do it with just an average politician who just lost his last race. No way. No way. You got to get celebrities.
Let me say something really quick. Kanye West, if you're listening to this, please do not run for governor of California. I just wanted to put that out there real quick.
That's funny. I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
And by the way, you've got 27% of the nation's homeless population, but only 12% of America's overall population. So obviously, California is leading the nation in homelessness and poverty and welfare, and it's a tough place nowadays to survive, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And that was something that I brought up in my congressional race. In a 43rd district, 40% of the people who live here lives 23% below the poverty line. And, between Los Angeles and Sacramento, we have the highest rate of homelessness in the entire United States. And I think New York is close behind as well as Hawaii. And so, people have to start understanding this. And this is, and it's a reflection of the leadership that we've been having in California for a very long time. I mean, Maxine Waters, terrible. Nancy Pelosi, terrible. Gavin Newsom, beyond terrible,
So who did you run against in the 43rd congressional district?
I ran against Maxine Waters.
Oh, you were against Maxine Waters. And see, that shows you the problem with America. See, you sound like such a wonderful, bright guy and a U.S. Navy veteran, and I'd love having you in Congress. And the people of California, in their ultimate wisdom, reelected that witch, Maxine Waters, over you. And that just shows you it's all name recognition. That's all that matters. Money and name recognition, right? How much did she outspend you by?
Well, we outspent her. We spent about $8-9 million on our race. But here's the thing. In the inner cities, the Republican Party didn't have any experience running in inner cities because for some reason they don't reach out. And so now you have conservatives who are in the inner cities, and we're making up for the work that needs to be done when it comes to being a positive influence. But on that same token, we had a lot of cheating in this election. Gavin Newsom had an injunction put on him from the courts that says that he can't send mail-in ballots to every single person. And so now he did it anyway, and we have to go challenge the election results, and that's what we're working on right now.
Well, you raised $8 or $9 million to run against Maxine Waters. Wow, that's a lot of money.
Well, we raised $10.4 million. We spent $8 or $9 million. I mean, COVID had the entire community shut down, so we hired a lot of people from the community. We did a lot of events. We did food drives, back-to-school drives, backpack drives. We did a lot of radio advertising.
And Joe, what was the final number? What did she beat you percentage-wise?
She got 71% of the vote. Just like
is that amazing? You spent $9 million and she still got 71% of the vote. which just goes to show you.
That's all we got to challenge that.
It's so tough in minority neighborhoods. Unbelievable to
Yeah.
convince minority people that she does not have their best interests in mind, and she clearly doesn't. We got to run, Joe. Thank you for coming on the show. Thanks for all you do. Thanks for running against Maxine Waters. Thanks for being a Navy veteran. God bless you.